And we're live, I believe. Welcome, everyone, to the Designer Show on this lovely August 1st, 2025, I think. Anyway, welcome to the show. We're on here with Renee and John. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Right.
John's out in the mountains, as usual.
Not yet. I will be in a couple weeks.
And I'm at my park next door. So it's just a park at the end of my driveway, which is kind of nice, but I'm not really there, as you know that. But anyway, welcome. And Kevin and Robin will not be here. Robin's at the zoo with her grandson, and Kevin is at a different chief event. Okay, he texted, "I'm going to the chief training today." And I'm going, "What chief training are you talking about?" He lives in Kansas City or Kansas, so he's going to the Chiefs football camp training. So anyway, so good for him.
Say hi to Mary too. It's her first time.
Hey Mary, welcome. Thanks for joining. Yep.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah.
Oh, and I got a new member here. Yeah.
Chris, welcome.
Welcome, Chris.
I think Chris is daughter of Deb Purvis, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, we know Deborah. Yeah.
Yes, we do know Deborah. So I believe that's correct. So welcome to the show. I talked with Deborah a little bit last week. It was fun to catch up with her. They do, speaking of selling plans, that's what they do, Renee. So if you might want to touch base with Deb to see how they do that and what they do, and you guys can collaborate a little bit possibly.
Nice.
Cool. All right. So today we have plan review, and we have some guests here today. I spent some time on the phone with them yesterday, and we were talking a little bit about what they do, and we spent some time going over their plan, some ideas that they could apply to help make their plans a little bit cleaner, a little bit easier to work with. So welcome, Elliot and Jen. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
And what's your company again?
Vertical Works is our parent company, but we have 3 divisions. There's Utopian Villas that does the tiny homes, and then Dreamer Remodel does the remodel side of our business.
Yes. Okay, cool.
Cool, doing tiny homes. How is that as a business?
It's a lot of fun. Everything's unique. It's a bit of a challenge getting everything kind of crammed into 400 square feet or less.
Yeah.
Like a puzzle.
Yeah, that is a challenge, and you guys do an amazing job. And we're going to go over one of your plans here in just a little bit, and we'll offer you some tips on things you could do. We talked about some of that yesterday, but we'll share that with the rest of the gang here. Now,
I feel like John would be good at designing tiny homes since he pretty much travels around in one.
Yeah.
Tiny home on wheels. Yeah. There you go.
I'm always dreaming about how to make things more efficient.
Yeah.
And always more than one space, one use for a space, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta get creative with these.
How many miles did you put on last year, John, on your tiny home on wheels?
About somewhere between 30 and 40,000 probably.
Yeah, good for you. That's amazing. So you and your wife have been really seeing the country, seeing lots of people, and living the dream. So way to go. All right, so let's dive into it here. Just real quick, you guys, if you go over to chiefexperts.com, you could check out we got a class coming up in October for Chief Architect. If you're interested in some live training, we'll be doing one here in Bloomington, Minnesota here in beginning of October, first week of October. And you can check that out. Let us know if you have any questions. And in Designer Show, we're going to go live with that pretty quick here. So just getting a lot of things straightened out and getting ready to go. So I'm pretty excited about that. Got some new things coming, so that's going to be exciting. Anyway, enough of that. Let's dive into your plan, and let's talk about it. So let me bring it up on the screen here. So what did I just do?
I got it.
There you go. Thank you. All right. So a couple of caveats here that we have to be aware of. They are on X15, and I'm going to be doing this in X17. So we'll try to point out some of the things you can't do on X15, but you can do on 17. So a lot of things I'm going to talk about you could do on X15 as well. So plus it's all on 11 by 17. So just to keep that in mind, you guys like that size, you want to continue using that size. So some of the things I'm going to say won't apply to your sheets because we already talked about it, but I'll explain some things just generally so people can understand that. So let me
Is
just
this
jump
new
on.
construction or remodel?
This would be new. This is a tiny home that we're going to be talking about.
Okay.
So
Boy,
if
that's
we,
a tough one. 11 by 17 for new construction.
yeah, it is, but they do a ton of detail. So we got 54 pages that we're working with here. So, uh, if we can reduce that a little bit by combining some things on different pages or making it fit a little better, we'll try to do that. But, as we run through the different pages, go ahead.
Renee, you also need to remember that it's a tiny house, so they're still getting the 1/4 inch scale on 11 by 17 with no
Yeah,
problem.
fitting everything in there.
Yeah.
It's still
Yeah.
tough to get in there, if you're using like keynote schedules or schedules in general and you want,
Yeah.
your 1/8 inch print size. That's tough.
Yeah, and you'll see some of that here in just a second. So let me start on page 0. Of course, that's your master border. And so you're using down here, you're using the page number, and which works great when you are using just page numbers. You're not using A1, E1, those kind of lettering. So the page setup in Chief works fine. The page macro works fine, and that does tie into the callouts, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. If you're going to go more complicated on the page numbering with the A1, E1, those kind of letters, you do have to use the layout label. And so I just added it here so you can see both here at the bottom of the page. So when you use the layout label, that's when you're going to use the page, this icon right here. Or you're
Edit
going to
page
go,
information.
Yep, or you're going to go over to your layout pages and right click on the page that you're working on and edit that page information. So this right here is the same as clicking this icon up here. So they both do the same thing. So if we go here and we go into the page information, the pound sign, this is where you would have set up the page numbering to be different. A-pound sign would be A1, A-pound sign would be A-2. So Chief would start the page numbering over each time it finds a new symbol in front of that pound sign, or in front of the pound sign. I don't know if it works after the pound sign or not, but just be aware of that.
Can you group edit page information from the project browser?
Here? No, all we could do is delete.
Right. So,
and we could update all the previews on the pages that we've selected. That's
so
new.
Unfortunately, if they wanted to delineate, A sheets from E sheets, they'd have to go through every page.
Each one, yeah. Unfortunately, it's not a big deal. Once you do it once, it's part of your template, and you can just work with that.
It's almost like there's a suggestion in there somewhere.
But as you're building, if you're building this from scratch, you get one A pound sign plant page in here, and then duplicate that.
Don't make a new page. Don't go a new page. Duplicate the page, and the A-pound will already be there. So you'll be able to go with that. So I get you, Elliot and Jen, you guys are good with your page numbering setup that you've got, so you wouldn't worry about that. Let's talk about your indexes. Okay, so you're on X15, so what I'm going to show you won't work in that version. You would have to update to X17, but you could, there's two suggestions here. All right, so you've got your page index. That's this little icon right here that allows you to drag, add an index of all the pages on your screen. And the index will pick up either the page number or the number that's put in up here under the pound sign, the label. So it'll pick up either of those, depending on what you've selected to display the page number. So here you see that I did put, I must have changed it back. I had on one page. But what you could do here now, the text size that you've got here, and you put this in a layout page CAD detail. Okay, so that table of contents is in a layout page CAD detail. And I understand why you did that, right? Because you needed to break it to show two different columns, right?
Columns.
You want to show how that's accomplished, Dan? That's a
Well,
good one.
let me show one other thing first. The text size that you used here on this was 1/8 inch tall. Okay, on the layout page, 1/8 inch. Now, the architectural standards state that you could do 3/32 of an inch tall for text size, and that's a standard text. And for the index, that would work fine. So this is the index at 3/32 of an inch. That fits in one column. All your 52 pages fit just fine. Okay, so that's a FYI for you. So you could go down a little bit smaller on your text, and that you give you one column for all your pages, and then you have a little white space here to throw some 3D views or something nice there, maybe some other notes, and then you wouldn't have to break up the columns. Now, that being said, the page index is basically a schedule. So when I open the dialog for that, and I go to columns and rows, we have a thing here called wrapping. This is X17. The text size, you can do it in any version of Chief. This page here is you've got your number and page title. So how many columns do we want? We want to have, I'll say we're going to do 15, and we're going to put a space between them. Now that we're on a layout page, we were playing with this yesterday where we put in 1/4 inch, and of course it didn't do anything, so we had to put in a big number. Here, we're just going to do 1/2 inch because we're on the layout, and that would already give us the space we need between the columns. And when I click OK, there's your multiple columns of your pages automatically, and there's that 1/2 inch space that I put between them. I could make that smaller. So this is huge, I think. I mean, Chief adding this for all these big schedules that people do.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That was my favorite feature they introduced.
Oh, come on. You said other ones were your favorite. What are you doing?
No. That was from the get-go. That was the one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That saved me enough time to make up the cost of the software right there.
Yeah. And then you start adding some of the other ones in, and before you know it, you've got a really good thing going there. So I know Robin really loved that one. She's a big schedule nut, so she loved that one quite a bit. So you see how that works? Pretty slick. And then as you keep adding pages, it will automatically start a next column based on the number of sizes of pages that you put in. So that works with all schedules in Chief Architect. So
Let me also break in and say that I'm just a huge stickler for standardized text through your layout. So whatever text size you're sending from plan, match that text size and layout, have all the text size be the same. When it starts jumping from scale to scale and size to size, it just becomes more difficult to read for most people.
So if you're doing the text in Chief and you are printing something at a 1/4 inch scale, the text size in Chief would be 4.5 inches. So just keep that in mind.
We got a comment here from Lance, by the way.
Yeah. What's Lance got?
Did you set up multiple template pages that auto number A sheets, E sheets, S sheets?
Can you set up multiple what now?
Layout templates.
Template pages that auto number.
Layout templates.
Yeah. A sheets, E sheets, S sheets, and yes, you can.
Yes.
Oh, separate. Within the same layout, yes, you could have separate template
layout templates.
Layouts, yes. So all you have to do that is.
Although I would probably just start some sheets instead further down the line that start with your E sheets. That's easier than setting up different template pages.
Yeah,
and then duplicate them as you go.
You can keep it all in one template, one template. Everything's one template. You could put, it doesn't matter where you put the next lettering. I could move that down here. It's still going to stay E, and everything else stays lined up. So you can move those pages around anywhere you want, just like Renee was saying, and they'll work just fine. So that's that kind of lettering. But if you wanted to create separate template pages within the same layout file, all you have to do is go to, find a page where you've set up a border, go to your page setup stuff, and then just make that a page template. Now that becomes a new template. So anything after that, so this would be like page 0, and then anything after that would be that template. So, or actually that's not true. What you would do is you would name this what would this page be called? Production specifications. Let's just see how this works. So see how everything went away from page 0's information. And if I wanted to, if I go to the next page and I want to use that template now, so I would just go here and I would go to this and I would say, well, use that template. Click OK. Now I'm using that template. So you could switch that up at any time you want through the process. And again, the page lettering.
So to keep your borders the same, and everything, you'd have to go to page 0, copy the borders in your title block, and then paste it onto your new template.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, if all you were trying to do is change the number.
Or just duplicate page 0.
Right. Duplicate page.
Works.
Yeah.
Yep. That works too. So,
yeah.
So yeah, you could do that all day long. Once in a great while, I'll use another template within the same layout where I'm going to bring in a survey or something that takes up the whole page and I don't have any room for any of my stuff. And then I'll just create a blank template and I'll put that on there. That's about the only time I ever used separate templates in the same file. So that works pretty well.
So the answer to the question here is yes, it would restart the number. It would start the numbering from whatever. Actually, it would restart it, wouldn't it?
Because I wonder, would the index pick up all the pages if you're using a new template? I've never looked into that. Why don't you play with that, Renee, while we're talking?
Oh yeah, it does.
It does it? Okay, so it keeps one index keeps everything in order. So
yeah,
as long as it's in the same layout file. Okay, cool. All right, so there's that. One thing you might want to do for your plans is add a copyright. Copyright your company name with a copyright symbol. I think that'd be a good idea for what you guys are doing. I mean, you make a little note of it here that, you don't make a copy of this or we're going to come and get you. But yeah, you might want to add a copyright symbol to your plan, just like I do. Let me open one of my layouts. New. Here I can go open up a different one. How about? Well, here I'll just open this. So I just have a little note down here, copyright my company. Don't make copies of this. All right. So
Margaret had a question too.
Yeah. What you got, Margaret? I'm ready.
How does the multiple dates auto-populate as you work on different parts on different days? I assume that's what she's getting at.
Well, if you're talking about the dates down here, okay, that's just something on page 0 that they're adding those dates to a little graph they've laid out. So that each time you open it and change it, you might go in and change that. I'm the kind of guy, I just use the short date macro. So on page 0, I would put a text box. Oops. I would put a text box. Let me get a hold of it and open it. So every time I open the plan, it's always going to have the latest date. So you just go in here, create that macro, global. We want to go time and date, and I use the short date. So it's always every time you open it, it's always going to put the short date in that box for you.
So you'd probably, to get this running view here, you'd probably have to create a custom macro for that, right?
To get this,
that can be a revision table if you wanted to.
Exactly. Okay. That's what I was going to say. So you could take this revision table, and the way revision tables work, I mean, just make it small to fit in there. Adjust the column so they only have the date. And if you wanted a description, you could have it. So we could remove those and go date. And then what you do is whatever page you're on, we change the size of the text and all that stuff. So whatever page you're on, that revision table will show up on that page. It'll show, if it's on page 0, it'll show up on all the pages. And you've got 2 options here. One, you could say, we could go into the page specifications, and under page revisions down here, what I could do is create a new revision, and I could just put I don't remember what column I had there. Let's just put a date there. See, I'm not sure which one it was.
And so that's current page.
So we're going to put that, we're only going to put this date on the page that we're on right now. you want to put it so it's on all the pages throughout your entire layout. So you can mix and match these on your revision table. And then when you click OK, that's going to show up on your revision table, and you'll be good to go. So you don't have to go to page 0 and type in dates.
So if you wanted to have a master revision table too, would you be able to put another revision table off to the side like this on page 0?
I don't know. I don't.
Wherever,
I don't know.
and have that populate for all your revisions you've done?
I don't know. Never tried it. No, see, it picks up what I put in for this page. I don't know of any. Maybe if it was a different template.
What was the question? I missed it.
So you want to have a master revision as well, right? So you can just kind of look down chronologically what happened up to everything instead of having to flip through pages. But you also want to just show it on that page, how that page got changed on each page, right? So you have a master one on page 0 that's just off to the side, but that's not going to print. But it gives you chronologically everything that happened.
Yeah, you could put that on a page 0 and see everything. That would be a way to do it.
You'd have to update it twice, right? You'd have to put it in for the one and then put it in for the other revision table.
Yeah, you just do one master revision table on your page 0 off the sheet if you wanted to see that separate
copy and paste
whatever your date index is.
Yeah, and then go to the sheet and paste that in there. Yeah. Seems like that would work.
Yeah. All right.
All right, what else you got?
You could change the size of that. So, okay. We could use macros for the client info. So I use this on all my layouts. It's much easier to fill in the information. So all I do is I set up a macro. Let me go back to the one I have. Did I have one open? I thought I did. Let me go open that again. Okay, so this is not my layout. All right, come on, Dan. I wasn't planning on opening any other things here, but I'll do it anyway. Come on, man. Where in the heck?
Just start a new plan.
Oh yeah, I could have done that. Let me just open this. So I just create a little text box on page 0. So I have a bunch of stuff in here. And in that text box, I have macros, client city, client state, all of that good stuff. These are text boxes. So if you're going to use, I could do that in a rich text, I suppose. And then I would only need one. And then here I have the client name. So whenever I start a new layout, all I do is I go up to Tools, and I go to Designer Client Information, and I put the client information here. And that fills in the macros automatically. I don't have to go type anything on page 0 or anything like that. I came up with this because once in a while I'd change page sizes when I'm working on something, and I didn't want to have to deal with retyping all that information. So if I changed page sizes, all of that stuff is still in here. So that's kind of how I've set up my template to deal with that. So I just have all my borders set up and are on different layers. And all I do when I want to change a different page size is I just click that layer set, and it shows that information. And I just adjust the page. I adjust under print, you adjust the drawing sheet set up to the same size as your border, and you're good to go. What was this, 18 by 24? And everything's good to go. That makes it really simple.
Utopian Villas, are you using some kind of project management software for this, keeping track of these things?
Yeah, right now we use Buildertrend.
Buildertrend, gotcha. Okay.
That's what you're dealing with, aren't you, Renee? Buildertrend, you're trying to create the automatic.
Oh, I get to do a plug now.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I'm giving you a lead in there, okay?
Yeah, I have a system that'll pull from Buildertrend. If you export a CSV, it will automatically populate this data for you, so you're not inputting it again. So it would automatically populate your customer, your quote number, your model, if that's something that's
already in selections and things like that, right? If you're getting it down to that point,
even your spec and everything, yeah, and that keeps you from potentially typing in the wrong thing. That kind of stuff. and then also it's just automatic, so you don't have to type in anything. It'll just be populated as soon as you export the CSV from Buildertrend.
So there you go, everybody. That's way more advanced. Cool thing. You got all the bugs worked out of it yet?
Oh yeah, works like a charm. It's great.
Cool.
Here's
what is this? Hey, what is this?
Good old Mike. Mike just sent me his cheat sheet of all of the text sizes that he uses, and
okay.
I kind of have this, yeah.
Well, so actually, go through their layout again, because I noticed something when you were scrolling. Go through a couple pages.
Well, probably this page.
No, keep going. Keep going past. Okay, so it looks like that's a different text scale than the previous page.
Well, this scale, I mean, if we open that to the CAD detail, the text is 2.5 inches tall.
Okay.
Right? And it's set up on the layout page at 7/16 equals a foot. So it's, that could be, you could have gone to half on that.
Well, and then what's the scale on the previous page?
On like this page here.
Yeah. Oh no, the two elevations. Because that's a different scale, is it not?
I think that is a quarter scale.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, there's where your text size differences are there. Like as long as you figure out what your minimum is, these should all just be sent at the same scale if you're using the same text size.
My rule of thumb
but we're not using the same text size.
No, you're not. My rule of thumb is for all 1/4 inch scale drawings, the text size for 3/30. The goal is to print your text at 3/32 of an inch tall. Okay, for your readable basic text throughout the whole layout. If you have titles or something like that, they could be bigger. So at a 1/4 inch scale, you need to use 4.5 inch text in chief. So if you want this to print at 3/32 of an inch tall, again, and we've talked about this, Jen, and that most of the people look at your plans on the computer anyway, or on a pad or something like that.
Yeah. So
but you still print some out, and when you do that, of course, they're going to get out the old magnifying glass, or they're going to be using their phone to zoom in on the text so they can read it, and you're okay with that. All right. Now, if you sent that plan to a building department, they might go, no way, we're not going to accept this. So, and I know.
Was there a reason to send this at different scales?
I mean, it's on the page.
Yeah. So when you're looking at this, 3 inch text looks really good. Okay. 3 inch text feels good. But if we change that to 4.5, it's not going to be that much different. I guess
it's going to be huge. What do you mean?
Yeah, I guess I take that back. Why does that seem so big?
Yeah, well, you would send this at a 1/4 inch scale.
But yeah, when you send this at a 1/4 inch scale,
right,
it'll be 3/32 of an inch tall.
Yeah. Right.
Now, if you're going to do
layout and change the scale,
but if you're going to send this at a 1/2 inch scale, then we do 2 1/4.
Yeah.
And then that text size is going to be really small here, but on the layout page, it'll be 3/32 of an inch tall at a 1/2 inch scale. So that's just something to keep in mind as you're doing all of this stuff.
So the reason I was bringing this up is I would just send all these views at the same exact scale and use all the same text size, and so everything's just printing the same. And not only that, but I'd even you want to show the place point feature and what that does for alignment?
No, not right now.
Okay.
Put it down and we'll come back to it. Okay.
All right.
But I know what you're talking about.
I need to ask Chad what he wants us to share. So if you can let us know that, Chad, that'd be great.
Share.
Oh no, I charge for the Buildertrend thing. You can shoot me an email.
Nice try, Chad.
Yeah. Chad, I'm trying to milk you for all your money, buddy.
All right. Okay, so we've got page numbers, revision table, macros, copyright. Okay, so text size here, again, we just talked about text size. So the text size that you've got going here is 1 inch tall in chief, and it is not to scale on the page. it's not to scale at all. It's just fitting the page. You don't have a scale for that on the layout. So, and again, you get all the text on one page. If you wanted to go to 330 seconds, that's how big it would be. When you print it, that's easily readable by anybody. So just a FYI, and you already know that. So I mean, it's nothing new, but I'm just talking about general standards when it comes to that kind of stuff in a plan. That PDF, Mike, is that okay if we share that PDF with people?
Oh, Mike's cheat sheet. Gotcha.
Yeah. Let's wait for. I'll post a Dropbox link. Okay, cool. Thanks,
Man,
Mike.
he's too generous. Mike, you're so generous.
You are such a good guy, Mike. I tell you. While you're at it, send them some money too. Okay. So that's a little standards there. 4.5 inch tall, 330 seconds. We'll print at 1/4 inch scale. All right, let's talk about your images, because you're doing some really nice renderings, even in X15. And again, what I'm going to show you is an X17 thing, and what I'm going to ultimately show you is an X17 is a Windows only with a RTX graphics card. And this is the coolest thing you showed me, Renee. I love this. So these are you sent these to the layout as images. Okay, they're not linked to the plan. So if you go change your plan, you have to resend these, which again, you open the camera, resend it, not a big deal, just kind of a pain in the butt. This is a chief rendering that is still linked to the plan and updates instantly. Here's how that works. So when I go into this camera and I open it, all right, so there's that view. I'm just going to move through it and see how quickly I'm moving through the actual rendered image. I mean, this is a PBR. This is the physically based. Okay, that's what I'm in right now. And the thing that's different here to make this work so well is when we go to the page settings, any view that you're in, any view, floor plans, elevations, 3D views, you've got this icon right here. I'm in the chief extended toolbar. And I can change the settings on this page. So right now we're in the physically based thing. Oh, I don't have shadows. Let me turn the shadows on. Let me see how that works.
Oh, they're always on and physically based.
Oh, they are. Okay. So I don't even have to think about that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I didn't know that. Okay, and if we go define, there's a setting here. You'll see this is X17. It's going to look a bit different than X15. But this thing is brand new, and they just sent this out as an update here last week, or when they released Chief. Yeah. What does DLSS stand for? Real time denoising?
Oh, I don't remember. I'm going to have to look that up.
Whatever, but it's pretty cool. So when I turn that off and I go back into the view, see how you get the speckles on there? That's called denoising. So the one thing that you could do in X15 to create these images and still have them print relatively quick is turn this maximum samples down. It was set at 2,500. Turn it down to 20 or 10. And then, so what it'll do, and then you could turn the, you'll still get it so it looks like this. So when you turn it after 20 passes, and you'll see down here in the bottom right corner where it says samples, it's telling, what it was doing was 2,500 before it would generate. Now it's just 20, and you still get a pretty darn good image at 20 samples. So, and it's much, much faster. You could even go 10 and then turn it up when you get it to super duper view. But I'm running RTX 4090 card. So you do need the RTX, the NVIDIA RTX cards to make this work better, to make this work. It won't work on a Mac, that new setting. So that's just something to be aware of. So go to your page settings, go to define, turn on the DLS, real-time denoising. And it's just like, you just zip through the plan now. It is really cool. So nice new feature. Now, when you put those views on your layout page, put them on there as photos. Don't put them on there as update on demand. So I always do it like this: update on demand. You're not.
Why do you do that? Why do you do that?
Because I don't want, every time I move a page or something, I don't want Chief to update that damn view. I want to control when it updates. So when I'm adding things to the layout, it slows everything down. So just update on demand. So when I get everything in my page, I might run through my images hit the update button down here, and then I'm good to go.
You can select all the images on that page that you want to do too.
Yeah, exactly.
Do it at one time.
Or, as I just noticed, we could go here now and select, I want to do these pages, and go to update previews on that page.
Cool.
That's new. That's new in X17. That wasn't there before. So a little FYI for you. You're doing a beautiful job, by the way, you guys. You should be really proud of yourself. It's a gorgeous tiny house. So,
yes, it is.
Yeah. So way to go. It really is. It looks great.
Thank you.
So how wide is that one? How wide is that particular one?
Oh gosh.
16 is the widest you can go, right?
Yeah, 16 feet is as wide as we can go.
Yeah.
And that's including that kind of side porch walkway.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
This one's 11'3", and they're using 2x6 walls. And
plus
then
plus the porch takes it up to 16.
FYI for you on porch railings, by the way, you'll notice that the porch didn't dimension. So Chief has a setting for its railings that's called no locate. And what that means is it won't dimension automatically. It won't locate the dimensions automatically. You can still dimension manually, but now when I do that and I hit the redimension, now it adds the railings in as well. So when you're laying things out, keep that in mind. So now you're up to 15'5". Well, you could go almost another foot wide. Anyway.
So you have somebody interested in your plan here.
Aaron. Oh, Aaron Rose. Hi, Aaron. You can contact them. What's your email, Elliot?
Your email?
Let's see. Or just what
website? Yeah, utopianvillas.com. You can find all of our plans on there.
There you go. Aaron, just let me know. I can send you his email if you'd like. I won't post it here. Unless you want me to, Elliot. Okay, so let's keep moving here down the layout. We're already 38 minutes in. I hope that was helpful about the renderings. So even in X15, make sure you set your sample size way down to 10 or 20. You'll still get great renderings, and they won't take very long to generate. And set it on your layout at you want to control when they update, not Chief updating it all the time. I mean, these are just really good looking views, lots of nice windows. So cool. Use call out labels. This, you have 54 pages. All right. On 11x17. I get it. That's what you want. So that's fine. I wonder if you did the paper count, if that's about the same square footage if you went to bigger sheets. I don't know. I'm just being facetious here. So, but it's got to be tough, you know, if someone's looking at the floor plan and they want to go find that elevation or that cross section. Where do they find that? And then for you guys creating a plan, how do you keep the page numbers up to date automatically? So that's kind of a goal that Chief answered a long time ago of creating automatic page numbering and callouts from the floor plan to the elevations or 3D views or CAD details now.
Is that not what they're doing there?
No, they're not doing any callouts. So there's no callouts in any of these sections. So I added this. Okay, so this is the S1 cross sections. Although you are adding
in the label,
you are adding this, which is helpful because now I know where that cross section is going. But you could do this cross section in a 3D view. You're almost there. This is a CAD detail, but you're almost there in your 3D model. If you just added the 3D framing, you'd pretty much be there. So other than this roof rafter, Chief won't do that automatically, where it would cut that at that angle. So that you'd have to add that manually.
Have you tried doing that with the truss? It wouldn't do it. I mean, it would do the shape. I wonder if we made the bottom cord thick enough or the top cord thick enough.
Yeah, you could do it. You would just delete the framing. It's going to make the overall shape.
Yeah. So there's probably workarounds for that, but everything else would work great. I wouldn't have any problem with anything else in the plan here, filling in with the framing properly. Chief does a great job with the framing and 3D models.
So how did you make your call out?
So this call out, two ways. Okay, so if you use the camera, the 3D camera, so here's camera, I just label it S1, and it's on page number. I get two different page numbers. Why do I have two different page numbers?
You did that.
Because I did the E1 somewhere.
0.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, so when you do a 3D call out, or when you on your floor plan and you do a camera view, where do we go here? So this is the saved camera view.
Right.
Right. So I just use the back clip cross section camera, and I cut through the plan. I just copied and pasted.
Oh, and then what? You sent it off to the side of the page?
Yeah, I just moved it over there just so I could show this.
Okay.
So I just copied and pasted the text here just to give you an idea. And then what you want to do when you're in this view is, again, click on your page information here. All right. And we're going to go here. Whatever you put up, whatever you put under camera, this is the label that would show up for that cross section. Then you go to plan display, and I'm going to, label it section 1, section 2, section 3, or however you want to label that, A, B, C, D. And then you're going to leave the page text below line set to automatic, because this is where it picks up the page number automatically. So whatever you put in the page.
So I think we missed some description here, is that they have a cross section. They did CAD to view so that they could detail it, and then they sent their CAD to their layout.
That's the other one. I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that in a second, Renee.
Okay.
Okay, I'm showing both. One from a 3D camera and one from a CAD detail. Okay, because you showed me the CAD detail one, and I love that. I didn't even realize they did that. So, but this is camera. Okay, so this is automatic from the saved camera. And then I made the cross section or the call out on both sides. So that's from, so when I look at this call out, that is the saved camera. This next one is just a call out. It's not a saved camera. And I'll explain that in just a second. So back on the layout, so when I send this view to the layout now, and we go to the floor plan, see how it shows that call out there? And if I move my page numbers here, if I move my pages on my list, see the call out updates automatically. Why did that update to the wrong one?
You got that that template in between all these that you need to move out of it.
Am I moving the wrong page? Let's see. Oh, they changed that.
The one that move the one that says side elevations.
Yeah, here we go.
That's the one you copied, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know, whatever. I'm just see if I move it though. It's moving it, so it's got something to do with that extra thing I put in there. But it'll yeah. The bottom thing is automatic in the callouts. Now the thing that you have to do to these views, like for the elevation views, for that, let me go to that cross section back here. So the thing you have to do here in this cross section view is open this dialog, and this is an X15 as well. So you would go back to the label, you click on the view, go to label, use call out, hit edit, and then make your adjustments here. Whatever this is going to pick up the name of the call out. That's what it's going to put here.
How'd you get that?
Well, it was there. But to get it, you go global, object specific. Let's see, what am I doing? Object or
reference view call out labels. Yep, it's in object specific.
Okay, sorry. There it is. Okay, reference view call out label. So whatever was typed in the back where I created that camera, it's going to be filling that in. And then attributes, just adjust your text. This is, you play with this a couple times and you'll get it. It's pretty straightforward. And the cool thing is it shows you what it's going to look like on your plan right here. Okay, so now in my call out here, I don't put the page number underneath it because the page number is already on the page. It's right down here in the bottom corner. So I don't need to have both in that call out. I've seen it done both ways where there's page number and no page number. All right, so that's that one. Let's go talk about this one now, how we added this one. Okay, so I had to remember how to do this. So when I use the call out here, I go edit. Let me Renee, help me out here. How did I do this one again?
Start with place the call out first. So go back to your plan.
Yep, that's what I did. Okay. Let me go back to the plan. Here it is. And I placed a call out.
Place the call out.
Yeah, so I would go up to the text tool next to the text, and I grab the call out.
You can do a new one. Do another one.
All right, and I just click on the screen. Okay. And then we go to, I made it a double call out, so it has call outs on both ends. And then I made it have a large arrow. And then I want one arrow. Okay, so it adds the arrow. You can add multiple arrows to it. I went to
text above
line. I don't
line
want it to look like a camera arrow. I don't want that. I don't like that arrow.
Well, tough.
Pick a different one.
What's different one?
Pick a regular call out instead of a camera one. Pick a regular call out one.
Small, you mean? You want a small?
Got an arrow. This just got an arrow and not the.
Yeah,
but that would put the call out somewhere else. Never mind.
Never mind. We'll do that later. Line style. Let's see. Attributes. What am I doing now, Renee? Text above line.
You're gonna link.
Oh, I got to go call out first. And like so this is section 1. Okay, so whatever I put there will show up in the call out. Now we got to link it to something. And we're going to link it to your CAD detail. Can you do this in X15? I don't remember if it was back then. Okay, so that was there in X15. So then whatever detail, so now put your cross sections in separate details now. You still draw them in one, but copy, create a second detail out of it. So each detail has its own name if you're going to use this call out method. And again, the advantage of this is it makes it easier for people to find your details from where they go, because they'll have the right page number, and your page numbers are always automatic. And once you get this set up, it's like done. I mean, you don't have to mess with it at all.
Not only that, but when you're doing your cross sections, put them in the same exact XY coordinate. That way, it's easy to just copy the one cross section as it's sent to layout to the next page and link it to your other cross section CAD detail, and you won't even have to shift it around. It'll be in the same exact XY space on sheet space.
Yeah. So I'm sure that didn't make any sense to anybody, but
did that one more time, Renee.
We got time. Maybe can you show that in a couple minutes, Renee?
I can, but go ahead and finish the process here.
So I'm going to go. I need to put that call out on a layer. I think I had one set of text call outs right here. There you go. So now that'll give you the right size that you want. And here we do want to have a page number in there, okay, because this is on the floor plan. So we need to know which page number of the layout it is. So then we go back into here and we go to, where was that again? Call out, attributes. Oh, where did I do that? I did that quick before and I don't remember what I did. Main text link.
Yeah, it's under the it should be under the, it's in the label. It's not in this part. It's in the label. You got to get to the label part of the call.
What are you trying to do?
Oh, text below line. That's what I
there
got
it
to
is.
do.
Okay.
I'm using a macro.
Okay.
I'm using global layout info layout page number. Okay. Is that what I'm using?
Or layout page label if you're using the label.
Yeah. Put the line there.
It's not going to show because you don't have a link yet, possibly, or you're linking it to something that's not sent.
You're in the plan right now. You don't have it. You haven't sent that to the layout yet.
I'm not sending that to the layout. It just links to the page automatically. Before I chose a page, how did I choose a page?
No.
Go ahead and hit link at the bottom panel.
Relink.
Okay, so you have linked it to something.
I linked it to the CAD detail.
Right, and you haven't sent that CAD detail to the layout yet.
Yeah, I did.
View name 3 cross section.
Let me double check it. Yeah, well, it's on the that layout's on. It's that CAD detail right there. Okay. I knew I was going to do this when I got to this point. How did I link that to the layout page? It was under attributes. Oh, here, let me go to the one that I did it to. That'd be easy. So I'm linking it to a layout page under call out. It's always checked automatic. Oh, I checked automatic. And that's going to
So right
find.
here, you have to add it to the text book.
I just need to check automatic, and it'll put the page number in for that CAD detail. Because I'm linking this to the CAD detail, and it knows what page the CAD detail's on. So if I move that page,
linked view layout page number.
Yeah. So if I move that around now, that'll change that page number. Okay. So there we go. I knew there was some step I just missed there. I haven't done this for a long time, so I had to rethink that one.
So is there a way to make the S1 part of that call out automatic? Like if you were to make a copy or
no,
place a new one or anything like that?
I mean,
there is. It's very complicated.
Yeah, it's easier just to say, I want this to be S1, S2, S3. Okay, just label it. You do it once and you're done within your plan, so you don't have to mess with it anymore. So, okay, how are we doing here? 12:51. What else did I have?
You want me to show that real quick?
Yeah, if you want to. Why don't you take the screen?
And we'll kick here. There we go. And we got to get them back in the stage. Cool. Okay, so I think this was one of them, I believe. Yeah. So we have two details on this page. We want to split them up. Let me just get this. This is UVW Johnson, is that right? Yeah. And this is cross-section details. Okay. I'm just going to make a copy of cross-section details. And instead, it's going to be, cut through bath as an example.
And that name is what will show up on the label of the call out. Right.
And so instead of this being cross-section, I could rename this to cut through kitchen. Right. And so I want to open up cut through bath. And that's what I have open right now. And so I'm going to end up placing a point where cut through kitchen is right there. And I'll maybe even place another reference point right up here. That's just letting me know I want to align this detail over here with those 2 points. So I'm going to end up selecting everything here, deleting it, selecting everything here, and doing a little point to point. So now these are in the same coordinate space. So cut through bath is now in the same coordinate space as cut through kitchen. So if I come back to layout, and so here is, if I relink this or make sure that it's relinking this, do not import. It's going to do something. This is X17 fighting me. They want it to be into a new project. I guess.
What?
This is all new. This is all new to me. This is it's forcing these open plan and layout files into a new project. I'm taking its sweet time. Okay. So I should be able to, if I relink this to cut through bath, if it was in the same space.
Did you do the right one there?
Oh, I probably did the wrong one.
Yeah.
So
just make your viewport bigger.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
So this is what would be showing, right? We're going to clip our layout box to what it needs to be. There we go. So now I should be able to just relink to cut through bath, and it will be not in the same space.
Kind of get the idea, but yeah.
Don't you just love it when stuff doesn't work?
That's funny.
Well, and
it's there.
So I think you moved it to the right side, and I think that viewport was on the left side.
Look at the preview when I do it. This looks like it might be a glitch.
Oh, it's not. I had some trouble with some 3D views too, not cooperating.
Yeah.
So it could be a glitch in the new update they just put up.
Aha. Sorry, Chief. They hate it when we find glitches on our show.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can't get this to just show up. There we go. That showed up. Let me see if I can't conform the other view now. There's cut through kitchen. This was cut through bath. I'm just going to get rid of your excess details here and see what happens. All right. Now let me try to relink this to cut through kitchen. And
part of what you're seeing here is the relationship of layout page viewports or boxes to other items in your plan. Yeah, I had that same issue go on with a 3D camera before too. So
Well, this should work in X15 anyways. So.
Yeah. If it's a camera, update the camera.
I tried that too.
No, it's a CAD detail. CAD detail. No, this is absolutely a glitch. I don't know what's going on.
CAD details are like floor plans. So
yeah.
Right.
But anyway, that the idea was to have a different detail that you could just change what's in it, and everything shows up in the same place.
Keeps in the same coordinate space.
That's kind of what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
So what's the benefit of that? What's the benefit of that?
Well, okay, I'll show you just in one of my template plans real quick. The benefit is just being able to copy paste some views and keep everything aligned. So if I flip through and say I want my floor plan keynotes to be where this keynotes elevations is, if this is in the same XY space in a CAD detail, when we relink it to some other detail, so I'm going to relink this to my keynotes for foundation instead. If they're drawn in the same space, look, it just shows up.
Yeah,
and if you have your layout, you have your layout and your plan templates synced. You can also just re-reference a plan, and it'll pretty much auto-populate, correct?
Right. So the convenience factor of this is, especially if we want to keep everything in alignment, which that's a big thing for me, is if I were to go draw something, so that we can see this, that I've got some building here. Then if I get into layout, that's already sent. This floor plan keynotes is already here. If I copy this and bring this forward a number of pages to some blank page and paste hold, now I get to change what this is referencing, which means I can say that this is referencing the electrical plan and it's in the exact same point-to-point space.
Right, exactly.
So I put in a little place point, which this is another glitch I just found out, is the place point's not picking up snaps on our plan view anymore.
Oh,
don't know why. Yeah. Sorry, Chief.
There we go.
But there we go. You can see all my views are aligned on every page.
Renee, I got a question for you. Let me have the screen back here. We're almost out of time. Jen and Elliot, this been helpful at all?
Yeah,
we're not here.
Got a lot of good.
Yeah, not to confuse you, but most of what we talked about you could do in X15. But if you guys decide to move forward to 17, you'll see some benefits there. So when I go file print, this is something I've not seen before. I don't know if it's new, but save to project assets. What is that?
That's to your asset manager in X17.
Okay, and then I click that, and now I have the save to project. I get that. Save to assets. Tried to figure out where is that.
That's asset manager. So press OK real quick.
Okay.
And go to Tools menu.
Hold on, it's doing it.
It finishes printing 50 million pages because someone doesn't want to size their sheet size.
Got you guys there. That's all right. Okay, so there it is. So if I go to Tools, there's Asset Management. I've not seen that.
Now you'll see that PDF in there. So you could then send a particular page to some layout if you wanted to.
So this is this is everything that's included in this plan plus.
So this would be like for general
all your
or
textures.
something like that. That's going to be always the same. You would use that.
Yeah. Yeah, a good thing to import into Asset Manager is maybe you want to send nailing schedules in, on a project by project basis. That would be an example. Maybe you've got a moment frame PDF that you want to send on a project to project basis. You would import that into the Asset Manager. It's just easier to access that way.
Look at all these all of these assets that aren't linked to anything.
Yeah.
Chief's not finding them. Wow.
All right, what were you trying to show them? You were going to show them something.
Just wanting to learn what the asset management thing was.
That's all I was curious about. Yeah. So I get saved a project. That was easy because you could create a folder and have all your PDFs in one folder or whatever. Looks like I could import pictures. I could import anything I want and keep it with that project. So there's Elliot's project. There it is. And so I can keep all those things within the project, just like keeping them in a folder on my computer. So that's kind of nice. I like that. If I just
asset management becomes available for any project, right, Renee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are your assets. All of these libraries. The Chief doesn't back up the catalogs, does it? When you do a backup, when you do a complete backup of everything, where it says backup assets at the end of the day, when you close out a Chief.
And what are you asking about it?
When you close out a Chief, it asks you if you want to back up everything.
Yeah.
So it's going to back up all of the catalogs? Everything?
No, it indexes your catalogs so that it knows what catalogs you have downloaded, and therefore it could re-download those catalogs. The things that will back up directly are in Asset Manager, which are any kind of text, any kind of image files, any kind of PDFs that'll back up. Your library will back up. That's your full library, including all the textures that are part of that library, which are being cross-referenced to your textures directory in this case. And then it backs up your project files as well.
Mike's going to finally get his caffeine fix. Attaboy, Mike. It might be, you mentioned, if you're real quick, you mentioned info about creating a set of working drawings. If you go to the designer show and go back, just type ASID in there, and what was his name from ASID came on and did a great show about things you should include in a plan. So go watch that. That was a really good show. With that, I think, any questions, Elliot and Jen, do you have any questions that you'd like to throw out at us?
Pretty helpful, and lots of things we can improve on, like,
I mean,
the readability and
yeah, as I mentioned, you guys are doing a great set of plans. I mean, you guys are building some really nice structures, really great design, a lot of nice features. Just keep up the good work. And again, just little tweaks here and there to make it, again, those call outs are really handy when someone's looking at your plan. I mean, you've been working on the plan all day, you know exactly where everything is. But if someone that hasn't seen it before looks at it, they go, where is that view that you're referencing? And now they have to scroll through all the pages to go find it, versus just, in Adobe, you can click on the page number, much like you can in Chief, and you can just jump right to that page and get there without having to scroll through every page. Just click on the page number.
I'll tell you a trick about
double-click in the project browser. That'll open it up right away too.
Yeah, that's true. But most everybody else would be looking at the PDF, not the not the that. So here you could type in you can type in a page number and jump to it. So that makes it much easier for people to get around in Adobe Acrobat.
Let me show one more trick before we close this out.
Sure, go for it.
Those people that are adding renderings to their plans, and I hope you're putting in disclaimers about that. I'm just going to show something that was kind of clever. You guys were doing something with CAD details, be it from layout or plan, but there is a benefit to putting stuff in CAD details, is that we get to rescale or frame things, if you will. So I've got a layout open here, and I'm going to get into that layout, and I'm going to get into the CAD details section of that layout. And I'll just make a new CAD detail, and I'll say that it's rendering 1, what have you. And then in that rendering, I can post my rendering. Let me scale it down to the sheet size there. And then I'm going to send this to the view. And now, because I sent this from a view, we get to use pan scale layout box. So now you can, mouse wheel down and effectively change the scale of this, or you can even, clip it by the layout box as well, and crop and do stuff like that. Yeah. Right, so it makes it a little bit more dynamic in order to kind of being able to manage this, and obviously we can trade out the asset if we wanted to, but it's just cool kind of arranging on the page and getting it sized just right.
FYI, Mike, this is a plan that's for in-house. You guys, Elliot and Jen, you wouldn't be getting permits for this because you're creating essentially mobile homes.
Yeah, this is all for our guys out in the factory to be able to build.
Exactly. So you wouldn't be submitting these to the city office or anything. So we're kind of covering some things that are for everybody. So, but I get what you guys are up to. So hope that helps.
And when you guys are creating cross sections, I personally love to do this. Details are easier to more efficient in terms of getting them through to a design team, right? Or excuse me, a build team. So I oftentimes will do a cross section, drop in a call out. The call out is linked to a detail, and then I'm just bubbling part of that section. So this lets someone know.
When did they add bubbles?
What's that?
When did they add bubbles?
This is just a 25-inch circle arrow. By default for this view.
That's a great idea.
So this is just, you get the detail, bubble it, super fast and easy, and then link this to the detail you need, and hopefully that detail is already sent to view. So
that's fun.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Awesome. All right, guys, we got to go. Next time we're going to talk about some, what did I say? Some hacks, whatever hacks we talk about. To make things work better. Kind of like that little make that bubble bigger thing. That's a pretty good little hack.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
So thanks for being here. And Jen and Elliot, I appreciate you being on the show with us. I know you took a lot of notes and we were just jabbering the whole time pretty much, but we did have a really good conversation yesterday. So that was really cool. I appreciate you guys taking the time, and it's been fun to go over this with you. Again, keep up the good work. You guys are killing it. So
thank you. I'm going to put you on my list to come visit.
Yeah, you can come see what we're building out in the factory.
Well, they're in Wisconsin, so they're not that far away. That's where
I looked them up here and saw where they're at.
Yeah, you're in Wisconsin. You also have a office in Texas?
We have a factory down in Texas.
Okay.
Cool.
And
maybe I'll go see that one.
in December or January.
It's winter.
Yeah. Do you guys ever get down there?
I haven't been. A couple other people from the Wisconsin factory and upper management have gone. Eventually, I'll get down there.
All right. Cool. Well, talk to your upper management about getting you into X17. You'll like the new features. And as it keeps moving forward, too, they'll keep adding more and more. So take advantage of those. Everybody, thank you. Jen and...
look who showed up. Kenny Crocker.
Hey, Kenny Crocker.
Thank you, guys.
You guys can hang on for a second. I'm going to end the stream here and say goodbye to everybody. So thanks for joining us today, guys. We'll see you next time on the Designer Show.
Yeah.